Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday, Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. Grab a cold one. It's Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here is DreZ and Huck.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
This can's intimidating.
it's a huge can. It's crowling. It's crowling at you.
We got the crowler action going on a Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. My name is DreZ, and I'm in the BeaRV. The BeaRV is parked outside
It's
next
right
to
there.
our buddy.
You can see it through the windshield. The BeaRV and the BeaRV are chatting
They get along
while
great.
we're chatting.
They do indeed.
They do. They're good friends.
So luckily, on our 5-week excursion, we were able to cross paths. Huck, well, how
We're
long are
two
you
and a
out?
half weeks in.
And how much further you got going?
It'll be 20 days, maybe 21. So 3 weeks for us.
That's a pretty good run.
Oh, it's been a great run.
Oh, here's my glass.
We've made a brewery every day,
well,
at least one, multiples on some days.
we've probably averaged maybe a brewery every other day or something if you added it all up.
Right.
Perhaps. I don't know. We could spitball it and try and figure that out. But first things first, let's go ahead and pour what we got. So tell me a little bit about you just gave me a crowler.
Yeah, so
Stig's Brewery and Kitchen.
yeah, so we went to a state park near Bain. What state was that? Michigan, who knows? Anyway, Bain, we went to the state park and we're driving through town and there's a brewery. So we pull into the brewery and actually Liz had some prior knowledge. One of her coworkers knew this was from around there and said we should go there because the brewer, the guy that owns the brewery, his mother taught him in second grade. So we went in and of course talked to the guy about that. You know, that his mother talked to him and he's like cool and all, but we sat there and tasted all the beers and had something to eat and it was delicious. But this particular beer was really good. Let me take it.
I was gonna say, and what's it called again? Sorry, I already handed it off. It's Stappy something.
Yes.
You got to read the little label. It's written on there. It's Slappy and Happy.
Sappy and happy.
Sappy and Happy.
So the brewer sent in the bar and he says, you should go talk to the brewer. And I did. And I said, I really like this beer. And he goes, well, that's an interesting beer. I made it with maple sap instead of water. He did
no water at all?
No water. He used maple sap.
So does it mean it's going to be like a mead pretty much, I would imagine?
No, not at all. It's a delicious beer.
What's the ABV?
8.6. He thought it was going to be about 6.5, but you couldn't tell how much sugar was in the sap.
Yeah, the sugar. Yeah, that's gonna bump it up.
Right. Whatever he put in there for malt, the sugar bumped it up. So I think it's a pale ale style of beer, but it's really good because it's got the maple backbone to it.
Interesting.
And since then I've had 2 or 3 other beers with the maple, that they use some maple sap in, but this was the best one.
And this was in Michigan. I mean,
it's near Charlevoix, Michigan.
So it makes sense because when you think of, I think of maple, I think of Vermont, Canada, and stuff. But I guess we are far enough north that would make sense that's going to be more used in beer and all sorts of stuff up here.
Yeah, I mean the guy just he's cool. They had probably 22 beers on tap for a brewery, and it was right on it's on a lake, perfect tourist town, and the food was unbelievably good. So I mean, this guy can sell all the beer he can make, so he might as well make a lot of beer.
Yeah, there you go.
So and he was there working, so that's always cool.
Yeah,
you'd see the owner, and that's part of my thing about this trip. Is my trip was based on going to a lot of the big breweries, the Three Floyds, the New Glarus, et cetera, and I've been disappointed.
Yeah,
at those. Those 2 weren't open when I was there.
That is one thing I've been running into because you're on the road every day of the week. A lot of the breweries aren't open on a Monday or a Tuesday or even a Wednesday. Sometimes not even a Thursday.
New Glass is not open on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night or a Thursday night. They're only open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. They might as well be General Electric, as far as I know. I mean,
That's so-
give me a break.
That's so strange.
Right. So we couldn't even go there. Plus, they hate RVs. Fact
Yeah.
you need to know. Don't go there because you can't go there.
Well, that is one question I do want to delve into with you and your RV travels. Because I know that you're not doing the tow behind like I am. But first, let's talk about the beer that I got you real quick while we're going around the hop. So Backheel Beer Company kind of ties in with about how a lot of breweries aren't open on certain days. So we were staying in I guess that was New Hampshire, and this brewery had the best marks on Untapped over every other brewery around, and they were, no joke, 0.4 miles from where we were staying. We could walk there easily.
You could. No, I'm just kidding.
But unfortunately, they weren't open on the days that we were going to be there. So I was like, man, that sucks. But then our harvest host guy, the guy that we were staying with, was like, you know what? They're pretty small operation and cool guys. Like you should just hit them up and see if they'll let you just pop by. Sure enough, sent him a message on Facebook. Peter got back to me saying, hey, yeah, I'll be here working on stuff if you want to just pop on by. So I was able to get in there and grab that one. The stash is king.
Yeah, and their theme is respect the stash. I gotta love this brewery. You know, I've had a stash all my life. I shaved it off once, and Liz was like, "I know who you are. You need to go find my husband and bring him back."
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat now. I one time shaved one time, and BB was like, "Don't ever do that again."
Don't do that. What is wrong with you?
They don't like that.
That face is bad. I have no upper lip, apparently.
So Peter was telling me that actually is a collaboration. I think they're first with a brewery that's just a hop, skip, and a jump from them, Garrison City, which is really well established, been around a long time, and it's a collaboration, and they're doing, I think it's a mustache contest.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it
I've
was
seen
this
those.
past weekend. I'm sure there's pictures on their Facebook or something about how it went, but an 8% double IPA. It says right here they use Enigma hops, and I'm trying. Oh yeah, there it is. Thiolized yeast strains. Do you know anything about brewing with thiolized yeast
Never
strains?
heard of it,
I hadn't either.
which is strange because I've heard of everything.
Yeah. So Peter was telling me, I guess it's sort of a way to really bring out the citrus and fruity notes. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you're picking up on that at all. When
Well,
you
I
said
tell
that,
you
I haven't
what,
tried that beer yet. So
when I popped the tab, the first thing that hit me is just the wonderful, wonderful body and aroma to it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love these hops. I want to marry them. And it's like, it just smelled so good. And then it also tastes so good.
awesome.
This is nice and thick, milkshakey. It's got everything you expect in a good IPA.
Well, it sounds like you're almost ready to untap it, but let's hold off on that. But yeah, so shout out to Peter for opening the door, and I think I very well could have that could be the first can sold of that beer. I'm sure they sold more over the weekend, but I was able to get my hands on that over last weekend. So getting back to the RV thing, we're on the road. We got our Class A motorhome, and we tow our CRV behind us to hop around to go to breweries or whatever. You're not doing that. You're just doing this, 20-day tour, 3-week tour, you said, in just your RV. How has that been? I feel like that would be pretty challenging and limiting in certain
No,
aspects.
actually not at all. The only time we've been limited was, as I said, New Glarus.
That was the only
The
spot you
only
had an
spot
issue?
that we had any trouble with. I do what we're doing now, towing sometimes, but we knew we would be driving almost every day. We're getting ready to, this weekend, we're going to the beach for 2 or 3 days. So we'll have to walk to the beach or whatever. But I think there's a big parking lot if it's not full. But everywhere we go, there's room. If you think about it, breweries got to have truck deliveries. So if you're just going in for a couple beers,
You can park in front of the loading
park in
dock.
front of the loading
usually.
dock, or there's usually turnaround space in the back. Almost always, I'm better health wise as I can walk, a quarter mile if I have to
Mhm.
go to a brewery. So we do that, and we found in the towns that, like, we went to Great Lakes in Cleveland, and Cleveland is a nightmare for RVs.
I was
Okay,
going to say, that sounds
if
like
you
that would
look
not be
on
fun.
the internet, people are like, "Don't go there. They'll charge you $25 for a $5 parking space." Blah blah blah. All you got to do is turn right or left in the middle of town and go 3 blocks, and there you will find a residential section. And in that residential section, there's whole strips of sidewalk you can park next to, and nobody cares. You got to be careful of the trees. You can scrape your,
Mhm.
your side mirror off or other parts of your RV, but we have never had to walk more than 3 blocks. And in Cleveland, we only had to walk like 2.5. And it was great. Great Lakes Brewing, that was one of my
Bucket list.
bucket
Must
list
have been.
classic breweries I want to visit, and it was not a disappointment. Go in the basement if you go there.
All right. Yeah, I saw that beer locked up in cages.
Yeah, they had the beer all locked up because
It-
it was so wild it would get away.
Well, that's well. You said beer's so good they put it. I was like, really? It almost seems like it'd be bad if it's in if it's in a
Yeah, it
jail
was
cell.
naughty.
It's a little back.
Naughty beer.
So,
Nobody wants naughty beer.
so yeah, I'm trying to think. So big one wise that we ended up doing, and we did a whole show about it, was 12%, which is where they do Abomination, Fat Cat, Evil Twin is down there.
We're trying to decide if we're going to stop there on the way home.
You might if you can, it's probably worth a stop, man. There's a lot of good beer there. But don't, I mean, unless you got somebody else, don't expect to get a lot of details about their
Anything,
operation. They're a bit tight-lipped on that.
That was the other point I want to bring up is when I go to the big breweries, there's nobody there that knows anything. I mean, you cannot talk to.
You're not going to find a
You're
brewer.
not talking to a brewer. You're
Yeah.
not talking to an owner. You're not talking to even the manager.
Mhm.
Occasionally you'll get a knowledgeable person that's working the bar.
That's been there for a while.
Right.
Knows.
I want to say it wasn't Great Lakes. There's one, it was Bell's, which has actually sold. I don't think Larry Bell owns it. But the people in there were very well trained. They knew the product. They knew the history. So, I mean, that was good. But, most of the time, I mean, the guy at Great Lakes was a great bartender, but I mean, he really didn't know anything about the history of it. I mentioned the Christmas crack, the Christmas ale. He's like, "Oh, we don't have that." And I'm like, "Well, you're serving it down at a thing right down the road right now.
It's Christmas in July or whatever.
Yeah." But anyway, that's fine. But we didn't buy a lot of beer at those kind of places, but we did get a lot of beer at the little breweries where we were talking to owners. We're staying at some of the breweries, and they're all just super nice. And I think that's where people should start looking. I mean, I did this trip based on the big boys and girls, but it's ended up that we're liking the little boys and girls.
Yeah.
So it's been a great trip, and we got a few more days of it.
Well, yeah, and so you were talking about you're staying at a lot of the breweries. Is that through Harvest Host? That's a thing that we utilize, or are you doing it the old school way and you just find a brewery you want to go to, call them up and say, "Hey, you got room"?
No, we're doing old school. We're doing the Harvest Host, the old school way. Like I said, it's not hard to get hold of anybody.
Yeah.
But what we do, and we don't really, we're getting near the end, so we don't care if we spend a lot of money. We like to have, if it's hot, we want the air conditioning, and the generator's too loud with the air conditioner running. So if it's going to be air conditioning night, we find somebody that's going to let us have electricity.
Yeah.
And actually, I was talking to this crazy guy at the laundromat, and he made a good point that I never thought about. If I run the generator all night at $4 a gallon of propane, I might as well pay $30 for a state park and use their electricity.
If you're going to run it all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done that. I mean, but you're right. Since we've been on the road, I've been doing the show. We've been needing electricity to do it. So you're right. We've been running the AC. We've ran the AC more in 1 week of this trip than we did the whole 6 months that we were on our trip back. It's just been so damn hot, man. It's been brutal, even up this far north.
Yeah, we had a couple of good days.
That's it.
When we were up in top of Minnesota, the Upper Peninsula,
Michigan,
Upper Peninsula of Michigan, looks like a fish.
It finally got cool
It was
enough.
nice and cool all through there, but I have to have power to breathe.
That's right.
Some power, but I have set my batteries up so I can run enough of my devices to make it through 2 nights without having to recharge anything. But after that, I have to recharge. And it takes a generator. If I burn those batteries down, like 9 to 12 hours to recharge those batteries because they're so powerful. So, but we've been doing it like every other night, staying somewhere. But yeah, we haven't boondocked once this trip. But we found a lot of. Plus, I'm old, so I get half price at most of the state parks and
see, that's
federal parks.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's
There's
like
one of the perks.
$15 with full hookups. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. I'd be
Right.
all about that for sure.
So we have a what do you call it? A grid we go by. So we look for core engineers because they know what they're doing. Then we go after the state parks. Then we check the harvest host. Then we go to the boondocking sites, and then we just make a decision. Well, we got messed up on one in Stowe, Vermont. This campground has got 50 empty sites, but you can't book them. They're only there for a few minutes. And I called 2 days. I finally get this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to site. Come on down. Somebody will be here till 7." We get there at 6:30. Nobody's there. Sign says close at 6, and you can't take any sites. They might be reserved. Well, so those 2 campers, you're going to have another 68 campers come in and fill all the empty sites that nobody got because you can't do it on the internet and you can't do it on the phone. Why would you do a campground like that?
So did you just
There's not a
grab it or
campsite
did you
within.
turn around?
No, we turned around with 30 miles.
Huh.
Ended up on Lake Champlain. It was nice. A couple good breweries over there. But I'm just saying, though, there's not a campsite within 30 miles of Stowe. Not one site available. And this guy's got an empty campground in downtown Stowe. I won't glorify him with the name of the campground.
Well,
Heck with him.
Yeah, I mean,
He's shut it down.
yeah, it sounds like it's pointless. It's a
Yeah.
lost cause almost.
It
If you
is. It's crazy.
Can't even buy a site.
But yeah, it's tough. And wherever you go, though, Saturday and Sunday, Friday and Saturdays are the worst.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like, you have 2 nights, which is fine. I'd love to, but I got a schedule, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
gotta keep my schedule.
you're like me. We've been pretty go. I mean, I think we're averaging moving every 1.8 days on this trip. So every couple days, we'll
We've
flock into a new
moved
spot.
every day except that night. I mean, we were within 50 miles of where we were, so I think that counts. And we were in Michigan for a bit, but that was good. We loved that. Upper Michigan was unbelievable.
So how many states have you hit on this trip
I think
already?
total will be 17 when we
17
finish.
when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
Jeez
17 or 18.
Louise.
Yeah,
My
depends on
goodness.
whether I go into New Jersey, which is unlikely.
Yeah, you guys are covering even more ground than us, man. That's impressive.
But just don't go to Wisconsin, whatever you do.
Man, what are you dogging on Wisconsin? What's the pattern? To me, I feel like, well, I guess you didn't go to Milwaukee, right? That's a big beer town.
Right, that's fine. Go to Michigan and take the ferry across, and then go back. The roads are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The people are butt heads. They're a bunch of northern rednecks. The places aren't open that are there. The traffic is ridiculous. It's nobody on the road, and they're still messing with you. It's like you can, and I don't go slow or anything. I'm just saying. They'll pull out in front of you. They don't care. Wisconsin, bad state. Don't go.
Yeah. I guess it's not for everyone, but
Michigan, good state. Go.
have you been to Jersey yet?
No, we not going there.
Not have you been to Jersey in the RV?
Oh, yeah,
Just not impressed.
I've been to Jersey. I think we went through an RV one time. Well, kind of, yeah, it's all right if you stay on the interstate. Actually, southern Jersey is pretty nice. They got a lot. I've been to Atlantic City.
Yeah, in the RV.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's
It's been a while.
we're talking RV traveling.
Yeah, RV traveling. Went to Grand Rapids. Very good beer city.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a beer in our next session from there.
All right. Well, there's a decent enough segment. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up, man. We are sipping on some beers. I don't have the can anymore. It's Stig's, I think is what it was called. Stig's out of somewhere in Michigan. Yeah, hand me this can. Hand me this
Boyne
can.
City.
It's sweating over here. We need to drink this bad boy. Stig's Brewery and Kitchen, Boyne City, Michigan. This beer, it's unlike anything I've had before, man. I don't know if I've ever had a beer that doesn't have, so seriously, no water.
I don't know that
there must
it had
be
no water, but it
must
was
be some, 'cause
mostly
it would be
sap.
so thick. It would be.
I know sap is like water. I mean, it's basically if you ever go to Monterey where they boil the sap.
They didn't boil the sap.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so just straight sap.
Straight sap. That's just like
all
water.
right, well, now I can envisionize that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, either way, man, it's pretty sweet, both literally and figuratively. I mean, it does definitely have a sweetness to it. There's no question about
The guy literally got a moose and he hung little buckets of sap on the moose's antlers and brought it back to the brewery like that. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's badass. Well, it's also quite delicious. A beer like I've never had before. Sappy and happy. Again, it's kind of smeared a little bit, but this is pretty awesome, man. Unlike anything, I'll give it a 4.5.
There you go.
This is something else.
That's cool. So I'm on the stash is something.
Stash is king.
Stash is king. And you can read it better than me. You say it's 8%.
8%
This
double
is a
IPA.
really good
yeah.
beer, double IPA. I give it a 4.75.
4.75.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this beer.
Nice little collaboration.
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
That's,
I can just sniff it for a while.
Back Hill Brewing Company and Garrison City Beer Works. So again, thanks to Peter for letting me get my hands on that. I
Way to go, Peter.
I really want to try that bad boy. So let's step aside. I
Take
guess
a break.
Are we going to play your go-to request that you always want to hear on the bear?
Well, we're
gonna switch it up.
Some good stuff. Yeah, just play that.
Yeah, a little SOB.
A little SOB.
Yeah, all right. Give me
every
a drink.
morning on the trip.
No doubt about it. We'll We're doing Brewsday Tuesday with the Huckster up here in the BeaRV. The BeaRV is parked behind us, so we're buddying up on the RV thing, and we're gonna drink some more beers, tell some more stories right after this on 105.3 The Bear. So stick around.